I'm a 29-year-old woman, and for the past 2 years, I've been dating a guy named Derek. He's 32, works as a civil engineer, and he's one of those people who always seems calm and collected. We met at a conference mixer, exchanged cards, and he emailed me the next morning with a one-liner that made me laugh. Things started off easy. Clean, drama-free. He was never controlling, always respectful. That part never changed. I work as a corporate event manager. Long hours, high expectations, tight deadlines, basically chaos and heels. I'm good at what I do. Organizing high-end product launches, managing brand showcases, making sure people with egos twice the size of the venue are still smiling by dessert. My work life is polished, efficient. But cooking? That's not me. Never has been. It's not that I hate it, it's just never been something I've cared about. I order in, I reheat, I survive. I've never felt less feminine because of it. Things started to feel weird the first time I met Derek's family. His parents live about 40 minutes out, small-town suburb energy. They hosted a Sunday brunch a few months into us dating. Eggs, pastries, mini fruit cups, the usual spread. His mom, Joanne, greeted me with that kind of smile where it's just teeth. 10 minutes into sitting down, she asked, "So, Camille, do you cook for my son or just let the microwave do all the work?" Then she laughed like it was the funniest thing she'd ever said. I smiled, said something like, "He survives," and waited for Derek to cut in. He didn't, just reached for the butter. I brought it up later in the car. His exact words, "That's just how they are." They joke like that with everyone. So I let it go. I figured it was nerves or outdated humor, but it didn't stop there. Every time we saw them after that, the comments kept coming. Lightly sugared but sharp. Someone joked that my oven must be pristine from lack of use. At Christmas, Derek's aunt gave me a cookbook with a post-it on a specific page. Start here. Someone else made a joke about apron sizes and how some girls just aren't cut out for homemaking. I wish I could say it came from one person, but it bounced between them like a group routine. Derek would either pretend he didn't hear it, or he'd chuckle nervously and move the conversation forward. It got to a point where I started tracking the clock to see how long I could go at any family event before a remark came in. Derek's defense always stayed the same. They don't mean anything by it. But silence can mean just as much. Then there was that one night, I'll never forget it. We were staying over at his parents' place. I went to grab something from the living room. They didn't know I was walking in. His mom, one of the aunts, and his cousin were sitting with wine glasses, talking low, and I heard it. She's just not wife material. Pretty girl, but not someone you build a home with. Then silence when they saw me standing in the doorway. Wide eyes. Awkward smiles. I didn't say a word. I just turned around. Even then, I didn't cause a scene. I told myself they weren't worth it. But then came my birthday dinner. Derek's cousin raised a glass halfway through the night and said, "To Camille, who may not cook, but at least she orders well." Everyone laughed. Derek included. I didn't. I excused myself, walked into the restaurant bathroom, and locked the door. Stayed in there for 10 minutes. Not crying. Just sitting on the toilet lid, listening to the faucet drip. Something broke that night. I wasn't sad I was done. Not just with the comments, but with how small I felt every time I let them pass. Walking away from the relationship would have been easy. Blocking their numbers, ghosting every invite, starting fresh. But there was a part of me that didn't want to leave quietly. Not to win, not to teach them a lesson, just to show them what they missed while they were busy laughing. I called Alyssa the next morning. She's a private chef I worked with for a high-profile gala last year. She owed me a favor. I didn't tell her everything, just that I needed help pulling off a 5-course dinner that looked and tasted like art, and that I needed it hosted in my apartment. She said yes before I finished the sentence. I spent the next week planning. Not out